Welcome back. You're with Making It with Minglet. What is a minglet? Mariah needs to know. You know Mariah and Patricia from PM Artist Studios. I popped in their chat the other day, and my new channel name, Making It with Minglet, popped up. Mariah looked over at her mom. She said, "What's a minglet?" Minglet is a nickname that was given to me when I was about 25 years old, so a very long time ago. And it has been probably what I would say has been my adult nickname for myself. It was given to me by a friend, and she said, one day I asked her, I said, "Why do you call me Minglet?" Well, it's a play on my last name, first off. And second, she said, "Well, it's like, like you're kind of like a chicklet." And if you're young, you may not know what a chicklet is. But a chicklet, chiclets, if you can find them, are the cutest things. If you can find them for your kids, get them because they're amazing. When I was a little girl, when we would go to the grocery store, if I was very, very good, a lot of times I would get a pack of gum. And my two favorites were chiclets and the zebra stripe gum, fruit stripe gum. It was really a treat because most of the time I didn't make it through the grocery store without getting in trouble. So it was a true treat. So that's how I got, that's how the name Minglet come along. Now, if you think about Minglet, Minglet could be like mingling. Let's mingle. Making it with Minglet, we could say let's mingle. Oh wait, I'm hearing things in my head. Oh, it happens. You know, I am a character. Will go ahead and tell you that I am a character. I'm downright silly sometimes, but I have good reason to be. But in my head, I'm thinking mingling, making it with Minglet. Come along, let's mingle. It sounds like it's something out of a Ric Flair kind of thing. Let's mingle. Yeah, yeah. I heard that in my head. I did. I swear I did. So, what you're looking at is a piece of art. It's nothing fancy. I was painting. I was doing some painting, and I actually got too much paint out on my palette. And I do not believe in wasting product, no matter how inexpensive it is. So I did what a good artist should do. I grabbed a brush. Matter of fact, I grabbed an ugly brush. This right here, as ugly as it is, bless its heart, it's been around a long time. And when I was growing up, my mom, it was one of my mom's brushes. If you look at it, you can tell there's some love been had here. Oh, and then there's this. We don't allow glitter in our house because of things like this. But yeah, it's like a little balsam wood. Look at that nice sturdy stitching. But it's an odd brush, and it's just different. Kind of like me, just different. What we used it for then was to, like if my mother had a ceramic shop, and she had it from the time I was a little kid. So I grew up learning how to do things in a ceramic shop. I could close my eyes and walk you through the process start to finish, and know all the details. Because that's in the old part of my brain, the storage part that still works. So anyway, we used it if we opened a mold. We generally would store them face down. You've got this plaster box that's split in multiple parts. Most molds, if they were small, were just two parts, a top and a bottom. So in the middle, there was a hole. And if you forgot and left that mold sitting upright, it would be just like if you had, for instance, you got your jar sitting right here. If that jar sits there long enough, there's going to be debris in there. And with this, you could just empty it out like that. Well, with a ceramic mold, a plaster mold, you didn't want to blow things out like, you didn't want to just dump it. You didn't want to do anything that would damage any of the details on the inside, because that was the value of the product you had. So we had lots of these silly brushes, and that's what we would open it, and if there was dust, if we looked down in it and we saw debris, we would open it up. It was held together with rubber bands, these humongous, painful rubber bands. We would open it up and we would just, kind of brush it out, make sure that we got all the debris out so that we did not contaminate the slip that went into it. That being said, this brush has moved, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This brush moved from one house that I grew up in about 9 times. Now, I'm sentimental. I will tell you that I am. And I might even be a craft hoarder. Okay, I am a craft hoarder. I don't throw away things that I think I may be able to find a use for. When my mother passed away, I was not creating a lot, but I always had stuff to create if I chose to do so. And then COVID came along, and there you have it. But I had that palette, and I had the paint, and the closest piece of paper I had to me of any size was this piece of deli paper. I like it because it's crunchy. I like it because I can take any part of this design and I can tear it up and put it in a journal, and I can see what's behind it. There's a lot of cool things about it. But anyway, I just made some marks with it, and I used the whole piece of paper until I didn't have any more. So when I was thinking about Mariah asking about Minglet, I said, well, let me see. Okay, I need a place to start here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this piece of paper, and I'm going to use my good hands, because it was a good day for hands at my house, and I put my fancy writing. Now, I used to pride myself on my handwriting. I would write letters. When Bill and I first started dating, I would sit and I would write the most beautiful letters, and I would stick them in his pocket when he left after a nice date. And I don't know, every once in a while, those things still pop up, but my hands don't do that anymore. So, be thankful for what you have. Use what you have when you have it. And when you don't have it, find a way to modify. And if you watch PM Artist Studios, Patricia, says, be prepared to modify your plan. Well, my life has been a modified plan. What I thought was going to be, some of it happened, some of it didn't. Some of it went sideways. But I'm here, and I'm grateful. So that's what a minglet is. Now, I want to add one more element to what we're talking about today. And I want to ask you, if you will, I'm already getting subscribers, and I am grateful for each and every one of you. I have tried to respond personally. I will say that things that are technical are not exactly my forte, and this is a work in progress, but the color purple is representative of something, personal to me. You know how you have ribbons for different diseases or disorders. If you see a pink ribbon, it's breast cancer. If you see a purple ribbon, you may or may not know what it means. I know purple has several meanings, but for me personally, the ribbon in the color purple represents Crohn's disease. which was the very first autoimmune disorder I was diagnosed with. And then the second is migraine disease. So this impacts me directly. I can relate to this. Now, my reason for bringing that up is I want to build a community. I want us to start mingling together, because there are a lot of things that overlap from one disease to the next. And there are many people with multiple diseases and disorders or defects. So, I want to know, and I want to be able to visualize who is represented in people that are following my videos. I have a lot of old antique vintage buttons that have been passed down through generations. My mom had tub after tub. My stepfather had them. I mean, they have come to me, and I look at them and they're so beautiful and they're special. So I want to, instead of using ribbons, I want to use buttons in the color of my viewers' diseases or disorders. If you're not comfortable putting it in the comments, that's okay. Message me, because I would like for you to be included. And that jar is going to be something that I look at, and it's going to represent each and every one of you. And it is going to represent a group of people that have similar things that have happened to them in their life that can unite us and make us like one mingled group. So let's mingle, okay? Let's mingle. Let's come together as human beings, coming from different places, but let's come together and let's put our hands out and be strong together and be better. Now, if you're looking at my hands, I will say they're a trip of their very own, and I never know from day to day what kind of hands I'm going to have. I've got scars. I've got a lot of stuff going on. But you know what? They're just scars. Are they ugly? No. That means that something happened. And that means that somebody was able to do something about it. And I was not alone. It's amazing. We all have hands. We all have things that don't work like they should. Oh, and by the way, don't panic. I had a prompt on a live stream that I was watching that said to make a fingerprint bee, like a bee that buzzes, flies around. So don't panic. I am getting oxygen to my finger. But anyway, oh, and this was my mom's ring. It represents my brothers and my sisters. And it's the only ring that I can wear at this point because I have things going on. I have beautiful rings, but this is the only one I can wear. And it has been moved from finger to finger throughout the years. But anyway, let's just end it at that. Come mingle with me. Let's make things happen. Let's be together and find ways to improve the quality of our life. Thank you. Thank you.